Netflix. Hey, what's up, girl? Yeah, I want my money back, okay? I'm gonna need my money back, and everybody else who watched this show, they gonna need their money back. I don't care if they don't pay for their own subscription and they've been using their homegirl's login and password. I don't care. Give them their money back too. Cause you mean to tell us that all of this other stuff has been going on and y'all didn't show us none of it? So this video is gonna include some spoilers, some tea. So if you don't want the spoilers or the tea, don't watch it and then get mad in the comments, okay? I'm telling you what it is. So in that last meetup that we saw between Uche and Aaliyah, they really kissed and decided to date outside of the show. You mean to tell me that y'all allegedly hid 4 more engagements from us? And you mean to tell me that one of the other couples that got engaged allegedly knew each other before this experiment? It looks like that's becoming a theme. So let's get into it, y'all, because today we're discussing a whole lot. But before we do, don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. And I have to say this. I started this YouTube channel years and years ago. I think I posted like 4 videos and said, okay, this is too hard. I'm not doing it again. But about a year ago, I decided that I wanted to revive my YouTube channel and start posting again and just see where it goes. When I posted my first video 6 months ago on March 29th, 2023, I had 35 subscribers. No way did I imagine that just 5 months later, I would be thanking y'all for 800 subscribers. And I definitely didn't think that just 1 month after that post, I'd be sitting here thanking you all for 6,200 subscribers and over 300,000 views. So thank you all so much. You all have been showing so much love and encouragement. So I just want to encourage you, if you are thinking of starting your own YouTube channel or anything else for that matter, use what you got and start. People have asked me what kind of camera I'm using. Every single video that y'all have seen thus far, this video right now is being shot on my iPhone, okay? So use what you have and get started. I believe in you. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into this mess. Okay, y'all, so like I said, about 2 or 3 days ago, Uche didn't ask me anything on Instagram, so we're gonna read some of these questions and responses. So someone asked, did you cheat on Lydia? Uche says no, Lydia and I were never together. We dated for a short time and were both seeing other people. In the cast process, we were asked to disclose who our most recent relationships were. If she believed we were in one, she would have disclosed my name or photo, and the producers wouldn't have allowed both of us on the show. So Uche says that they were not together. Y'all already know how I feel about that. I definitely feel like their relationship was more than what he's making it seem. And in regards to Lydia not naming him as a recent relationship, I'm still not ruling out the possibility that y'all both left each other's names off because y'all both planned to come on this show together. I'm not leaving out that possibility, okay? Next question somebody asked, do you really think Lydia followed you there? Uche says 100% confirmed. I brought up Instagram because this was the method. More on this later. Okay, so when did you get this 100% confirmation? Because from the conversation that we saw, when Aaliyah just suggested this exact thing, you cursed her out for it. So I want to know when you got this 100% confirmation, and if it was prior to this conversation with Aaliyah, you owe her an apology. You owe her an apology because you cursed her out for what? What is your biggest takeaway from having been on Love is Blind? And has it changed your way of dating? Uche says, I've learned that the tone of my message is just as important as the content. Well, thank you, Uche, for admitting that. A lot of people were very adamant about Uche not being wrong for asking questions, but it wasn't necessarily the questions that were the problem. Some of his questions were warranted. What the issue was his tone. It was always the way that he spoke to people that was a major issue. But it looks like he's possibly had some self-reflection, which is a good thing. And maybe also people have been dragging his ass in the comments. So he's able to see like, maybe I could have said things differently. He also says, I came in on my second day of the pods and told my dates at the time that I wanted to discuss my biggest personality flaws. I said mine is that sometimes I'm too blunt and direct, and it's something that I'm trying to improve on. So please be patient with me and point out when I do it so I can correct it. I regret this self-awareness is not shown. If you saw my cast reveal video, right, when I read Uche's bio and he said that he was blunt and direct, I said, I hope that that's not an excuse for him to be an asshole. I said that. And you can be blunt and direct and not be condescending or judgmental, right? So now that I remember that I said that in that video, this whole thing is even funnier to me. After watching a bit of Love is Blind Season 5, do you see how Lydia made Aaliyah feel? Uche says yes, and if I could have seen that at the time, I would have done so many things differently. Someone asked, would you have stayed? And he said, I got conflicting information on what was going on during the pods. Watching it back, I think Aaliyah was brave for staying as long as she did. I would have 100% left too, and I don't fault her for that. I just wish it had been communicated to me. So I wonder if after seeing this, if he's reached out to Aaliyah to apologize for the way that he spoke to her. Now seeing what she was dealing with at the hands of Lydia, I wonder if he reached out to her. I'm just curious. So listen to this question. Someone says, will you be part of the reunion of Love is Blind Season 5? Uche says, when I am able, I look forward to sharing more through outlets where I can express my unfiltered opinion about all aspects of experience, such as interviews, podcasts, and most importantly, directly through my social media. Okay, Uche, why do you sound like Izzy trying to explain what his job is to Stacey's family? That seems like a yes or no question to me, but he talking about interviews, podcasts, carrier pigeons, social media. Sir, are you gonna be at the reunion or not? And we know that the way that Uche communicates, he does a lot of omission. I wonder if this was his way of saying that he's not gonna be at the reunion. Maybe he'll pull a Jackie and Josh and he'll say that he's too afraid of Lydia to come. But on the other hand, we do know that Uche loves to confront people, and the reunion would be a great place for him to do that. The reunion would kind of be like his last chance for him to state his opinions and his reasonings for doing things while on the show. So I don't know, y'all. Tell me what you think, because the answer to this question got me like, Uche, so you're not gonna come to the reunion? Why? Someone asked, why did you tell Aaliyah it was over? Was she not what you expected looks-wise? And he said, the "it's over between us" is a post-production soundbite. At lunch, we both forgave each other. We held hands and shared our first kiss. Then we agreed to date outside of the show. Okay, that is definitely possible. And the way that Aaliyah was doing all that crying, that huffing and puffing, you have my heart, I still want to marry you, I believe him. I don't even know what to tell you anymore. So after all of that, if this is true, after all of that, the way that this man spoke to you, put you down, cursed you out, you mean after all of that, you still wanted to date him, Aaliyah? Come on, baby. As much as I get on Uche, your behavior also shows that you're not quite there yet. If you think that the things that you and Uche have gone through just in this short period of time in the very beginning of your relationship is signs of a good relationship, that's not good. The red flags are glaring and you're just ignoring them all. But let's move on to someone else who was also willing to ignore red flags and possibly continue a relationship that ended horribly.
So right after Mexico, he reached out to me and I just wasn't ready to talk to him. And then a couple months back, I had reached out to him and we texted for a bit. The conversation was good, but our timing just didn't work out, so we never actually met up.
Stacey, now I'm giving you the side eye because you reached out to JP for why? For why? And what was that conversation like? Did you text him like,
hey JP, I don't wear makeup anymore?
Like, how did that even go? And I'm gonna be honest, now I'm starting to think that Taylor might have liked those outfits because she didn't comment on it once. Now we know that if JP was with Stacey, first of all, JP would have hated Stacey's makeup. Second of all, Stacey would have definitely been like, what the fuck you got on all the time? Like, you don't got nothing else to wear? Thank God those two didn't click in the pods, because had they got engaged, that would have been an absolute disaster, okay, from both ends. But yeah, finding out that Taylor reached out to JP after that, I'm looking at her like Aaliyah, like, girls, we were rooting for y'all. What is going on? So let's move on to Chris and Johnny real quick, and then we're gonna get into these 4 allegedly engaged couples, okay? So as we saw at the end of episode 7, Johnny revealed that her and Chris were together. They were so in love, blah, 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 blah. Chris did this interview a few days ago where apparently he's still gushing about Johnny.
I am there for Johnny. I'm in love with Johnny, and so that's who I'm going to go to and who I'm going to trust. Continue watching the episodes. They will be very interesting.
However, the reality Ashley posted this video where Chris is dancing with a mystery woman, and it is said to be his girlfriend. And they started dating just after filming wrapped up. So do with that info what you want. It can be a random woman, but the streets are saying that that is his girlfriend, and those two started dating shortly after the show ended. Okay, y'all, so let's get into these couples. And I gotta tell you, I am high-key upset that we didn't see some of these love stories unfold, but apparently production has some good reason as to why they didn't show it to us. For starters, shout out to Storytime with Rikkii on TikTok. She has all the tea. Same thing with Real-Time Ashley. I will link both of their TikToks below. They are really on it with the Love is Blind reporting. So the first couple up is Renee and Carter. These two made it through the pods. They got engaged. They went to Mexico. They moved in together, and we didn't see any of it.
You can see here that Renee and Carter actually did file for a marriage license, but it was not returned, meaning they did not get married. However, Renee is currently married. So 9-10 months after walking down the aisle and saying no to somebody, she got married to somebody else.
And that would make a lot of sense considering the reason why their entire story was completely cut from the show. So allegedly, the guy that Renee is currently married to was her boyfriend during this entire experiment. And here's a pic of her in Mexico with her golden goblet. And they also got a glimpse of Carter in Mexico as well.
Here's another screenshot of Mexico, and you notice this man in the blue with the bald head? Yeah, that's Carter.
And when I went back and watched, Carter and Renee definitely look pretty cozy. And if you look in this shot, Renee is wearing her engagement ring. I can definitely understand production getting upset and cutting this, but even in the small clips that we got of Renee, she looked like so much fun. I would have definitely loved to see Carter's reaction after he found out that he was engaged to this girl and she had a whole boyfriend. I would have liked to see that. So while editing, I went on Renee's Instagram and she's literally dragging JP, Uche, and her own man Carter.
If I was in that room, this would have been a whole nother show.
But we didn't, child. So let's move on to the second couple who allegedly got engaged. So next we have Estefania and Jared. Apparently those two did not go to Mexico, and word on the street is they're no longer together. I would have also liked to see this couple because remember, all that we got from Jared was the very first meeting where he told everybody that he was the smallest man in the room, and women always tell him that he's so small and he don't have any muscles. And when Vanessa said, "Oh my God, they really say that to you?" He was like, "No, they don't say it to me, but it's in my head, so I know it's happening." Yeah, I would have really liked to see how those dates went, okay? Because Jared is an interesting character. The next allegedly engaged couple that we have is Enoch and Erica. So cute, Enoch and Erica. Aww. I would have really liked to see this couple because if you watch my cast reveal video, both Enoch and Erica are kind of on the same page when it comes to feeling like they are the prize, okay? Enoch made it clear that he had no problem getting women. Erica made it clear that she's not taking no BS in any relationship, but apparently their story got cut after the pods. I would have loved to see those dates, and they look good. So this last couple is not an allegedly because I was just on their Instagram last night being nosy and they posted such a cute montage of their love story. But this couple is Paige and Josh. So Paige and Josh got engaged. They didn't go to Mexico, and apparently Netflix dropped their story after the pods. But the tea with these two is that they were rumored to know each other before they got on this show. So remember when I did that video of People Magazine interviewing Chris, the showrunner for Love is Blind, and he was very adamant that they are very rigid in the selection process and they make sure that people don't know each other and blah, 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 blah. And then remember I mentioned that Natalie and Deepti in their podcast said that it's really not that rigid, okay? And that there have been people on past seasons who've known each other. And now these two are also rumored to have known each other prior to coming on this show. That's why it's not far-fetched for me to believe that Uche and Lydia also plan to be here together. But just look at these two. They look so happy. They look so in love. And I really wish that we got to see this story because I kind of got the feeling that this would have been a couple that we would have been able to really root for. For me, there's not a standout couple that I just love this season. I'm just looking at everybody like, this is a hot ass mess. Let me know your thoughts about Uche's responses, about Taylor reaching out to JP, about Johnny and Chris possibly not being together, and about these 4 couples that got engaged, 2 of them allegedly. Would you have liked to see their stories? Do you still want to see their stories? Let me know your thoughts below. Once again, thank you all so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye!
Rock